Most owners that do a board and train, they listen real good. I'm thinking about this one dude in particular. It was like he was in the same room with me. Finn, come here, buddy. Here. He was in the same room with me, and he might have been hearing what was coming out of my mouth, you know, after I trained the dog, but it's clear that he did not listen to a thing I said. It's the truth, just the most basic stuff. Finn, sit. You know, and one of the things that I noticed, I saw the dog 30 days later. I went over all this because I go over it with all the owners that he was screwing up with, was the e-collar. And I asked him, I said, how are things going? Oh yeah, pretty good. Bullshit. It was bullshit. I started quizzing him and said it was bullshit. No, they weren't going good. And then, you know, I reached down and I check out the e-collar. My whole hand could go behind the e-collar, like could fit in behind the contact points. I'm like, what's this? He goes, what? It's way too loose. If the e-collar, the contact points aren't touching the dog's skin, why are you putting it on? Okay? And another thing about that is if it's too loose, what happens is it'll rub and you'll irritate the dog. It can't be too tight. It can't be too loose. It can't be laying on the skin. That's an improper fit. It must, the contact points must be just going in a little bit, not so it hurts like this. That hurts. But just laying on top, so it's just, that doesn't hurt. That's fine. You'll have good contact and the e-collar will work good. The problem is if it's just on the surface too, you're dialing it up and the dog doesn't feel it at all, and then all of a sudden you're using it or something and the dog moves and it makes you know, it's too high. You have to have the e-collar fitting proper. This is a e-collar by Ecollar Technologies. It's a mini Educator, and it has comfort pads on it, so it might look a little bit different. But it has a quick release collar. It also has a bungee section, and you know what that does? It keeps the tension proper. So once the collar's set, you just put it on every day, the tension's going to be proper. This is a good product. So is the mini Educator here. They also make a micro receiver that's, I think, 10 or 20% smaller than this. This is a good product because you can use this e-collar lower than a human can feel it. A dog can feel it. It's one of the best dog training products on the market. But if it does, Finn, sit up. No, sit. If it's not on the dog and it's just on superficially, no good. So that the collar, here, let's move the camera a little bit, like that. There you go. So the collar, you want it on so it's touching the skin, the contact points are, and you want it up close to the dog's ear, like this. So I usually put it on, right? And then I take the back part, I take the receiver, I pull it up towards his ear like that, and then I take the rest of the collar and move that up so it's real high on the dog's neck. This is making good contact, and it's behind this ear because he heals on the left-hand side. So you want the collar on that side. So if you give a correction, you're not bumping the collar because remember there's contact points and that could like cause a problem. It could irritate his skin. This is not that hard. You got the dog collar conditioned. Use the e-collar. Be smart. It's like us, Luna's owner, like she had the e-collar off for like a day or something. And she's like, wow, I really saw a difference in the dog's behavior. Yes, that's correct. Absolutely. And the more your dog is a certain way, that becomes their general behavior. So, Finn, sit. You keep putting the e-collar on until the dog's fully trained. It goes on for like 8 to 10 hours a day, and then you take it off at night. And when your dog's fully trained, listen up, it still keeps going on the dog for another 5 or 6 months because they're collar-wise. You have to have the collar fitting proper, and there's no reason not to use it. Finn's relatively, he's on 17 on a mini Educator with comfort pads on. So it's about 20 where you feel it as a human with comfort pads and about 15 without comfort pads. What's the problem? You're just indicating to the dog that it's a negative, okay? It's one tool It's a tool that you could use, but the problem is they got a bad reputation is because people abuse them. They dial it up to 100 or something, or they buy some kind of collar that you can't use real low, and it's a real hot collar. Don't do that. It's a mini educator or a micro educator. Use them low, real low. Lower than a human can feel it, or just right above. Depending on what kind of dog it is. High drive dog, it might be just right above. It's not that hard. Just make sure that the collar fits. Don't be like the guy that I was talking to you about. What are you looking at, Bennington? Ben! Don't be like the guy I'm talking about. He's probably always going to have problems with his dog, and he shouldn't, because the dog is pretty awesome. But if you're arrogant and you're one of these people that you're like, and that's this guy's smart dude, he's intelligent for sure, but he's also like, I think he thinks that he knows about, and he doesn't. He clearly did not get this. Some people are good at some things, some people are, utilize information you can get from somebody that's knowledgeable for sure. Not everybody's mechanical, okay? And some people are, they know about cars better than me, so I'm definitely gonna get advice. And I'm gonna listen to that advice. And that's how you should look at it. And just because you live around dogs doesn't mean that you understand them. They're on every continent on this planet except Antarctica. Dogs are everywhere. We also have 4 million dying every year in the United States because of just nonsense. And nonsense would be, you got the dog trained and you have an e-collar on the dog, but you're putting it on superficially, so it doesn't work, so your dog's behavior is terrible, and then all of a sudden you have a problem, its status is confused, or it's just excited all the time, and that's the point where all dogs make a mistake. They bark, lunge, bite, or just don't listen. Everybody should be training their dog a little bit every day. You did a board and train with the dog, train the dog, and make sure that the dog is compliant. You could do something as simple as this. This would be training. Watch this. Finn, heel. Sit. Down. Sit. You're a good boy, Finnington. I just trained Finn for about 15 or 20 seconds. If he would have moved, I would have made sure he went back down in the down position. That's using discipline. Discipline isn't about being mean to the dog. It's just indicating something. You messed up, do it this way. This is the way we do it. They need structure. They need training. If you're not going to give the dog structure, and it's going to be a mess. Why? Finn, here. Because dogs don't think. Dogs respond. And they respond instinctually and with trained commands. Okay? If the dog's responding instinctually, it's going to screw up. It's a subspecies of the wolf. You want the dog to be trained and conditioned with commands. And it's a lot of muscle memory. That's why I'm saying train the dog. Train the dog every day. Any chance that you get. Like Luna's mom. She's a great dog owner because she's always training the dog. She wants the dog to be as good as it can be. If you just want to have the dog and not work with them, you will have problems. And if you have an e-collar on the dog, my God, you found somebody to e-collar condition your dog, put it on right. Put it on right. It's always the person that stops using the e-collar, they start having problems with their dog. Flat out. Flat out. It's, like I said, it's a great tool. It's an element of control. Remember, like any other tools, it can be used properly or improperly, so use it properly. Hey, Finn, what do you think's going to happen Monday with Trump?
I don't know, Caine, but I think Don Jr.'s going to jail.
Something that I found out about Finn just recently is that his mom is using him as a therapy dog. So he's going in talking to somebody in an old folks home or a hospital. I'm not sure where they're taking him, but he is working with humans. He's a mellow guy and he's friendly, aren't you? See what I mean? He's a good boy. He is a very good boy. Hey, Fanny.
Caine, you taste like chicken.
This is my first time using Grub Hub. This is no shit. Don't give me too much shit because it wasn't until like a year ago when I first got an app on my phone. I didn't know what my Apple ID was. So, you know, come on, I'm old. Give me a break. But I'm using Grub Hub. I know I look like a fucking idiot saying this. It's fucking great. Are you kidding me? I tried using it up there in Beaver Dams. There's no restaurants on Grub Hub. But here in Brooklyn, God, I opened up the app, you know, I paid for it with Venmo. It's like, it's great. There's no nice restaurants in my neighborhood. There's like Popeyes. There's like some really like Hispanic food diner type places with steamer trays. That's all we have. There's nothing. But if you use Grub Hub, it opens up like, you know, stuff that's like a mile away and stuff that's good. I can get sushi on this. I get, you know, Grub Hub. Jinian. This is a message to Jinian. I just realized. Jinian doesn't have a smartphone. She uses a flip phone. I told her that I was going to go buy her the Grand Pad, you know. Jinian, I'm telling you, get a smartphone and get Grub Hub on it so that you could. It works fucking great. It does. And I know Jinian will say, nah, I don't really need that. I'll just call on the phone. Yeah, but calling on the phone, you're making it harder for everybody. That's what I'm telling you, Jinian. This was easy. I didn't have to take up anybody's time. It's all done. It comes in, and then it shows up at my door. The tip is done. Everything's done. It's quicker and easier for me, and it's more beneficial for the restaurant because they don't even have to deal with you. You know, you call them, you're taking up their time. I'm not taking up anybody's time. It's done. I made my decision. It's paid for, and it's coming to my house right now. Jinian. Jinian, I'm not giving you shit. You want to keep your flip phone, go ahead, okay? But I'm just saying, Jinian, it's 2018. I had to think for a second. Jinian. I'm serious, Jinian, go get a smartphone just so you can use this app. It's worthwhile. It is. It's good. I'm telling you, this is good. Like rice pudding, I've told you, Jinian. It's good, so is Grub Hub. So my food showed up. It was pretty good. It was Japanese food. It was like a bowl of salad with raw tuna on it. It was pretty good. And I also got steamed broccoli, which seems like it was cooked in, oh man. It was good. Cooked in like chicken broth, I think. It was pretty tasty. But what I wanted to say is the Grubhub thing, it worked great. The tip was already included. I did 15%, and then while the guy was coming over, I'm going, man, I'm only going to tip the guy 15%. That stinks. So even if I would, another way I'm like Jinian is I'm a sort of over tipper because I've done jobs in the restaurant business, you know, and some people are shitty. So I want to pull up some slack. So she tips crazy though. I don't have the ability to do that. You know, she can tip crazy, but I'm still a great tipper. I'll tip, you know, 35 to 50% sometimes, you know. She'll tip 100%. You know, but the guy who showed up is clearly illegal. You know, is some Hispanic kid. He couldn't even speak English. I could tell he's not here legal. And that just convinced me more that I should give him more money. That's right. What do you want to do, Trump's people? You don't want these people to come here? Why? He's a hardworking kid, man. He's on a bicycle. You know, it's better to do that job than where he comes from, which looked like probably South America somewhere or Central America. They want a better life. That's why they're here. Why do you care? Why do you care? He's contributing to our, he's contributing to me. He's bringing me my food. I don't know how much money I gave him. I just gave him I just started pulling stuff out of my pocket. Here, take this. And he got this smile on his face. He appreciated it. He already thought he was getting, $4 or something. Fuck that. Here, take this, kid. That's how everybody should be. If you're not going to be... We're on this planet for such a short period. Try and be charitable. Is that going to change my life? The money that No. Did it change his? Yes, it did. It changed his life. Not in a big way, but I mean, if you've ever done a job like that, which I've done a lot of jobs like that, you come across somebody that's a big tipper, you appreciate it. I could tell by the way the guy was looking, he probably didn't expect it, the tip's all figured in. No, it's not, kid. Here, take this. Everybody needs to pay their rent on this planet, Do you ever do anything charitable, ever, for anyone? When you're tipping somebody out, do you always just tip 10% or something? When you see the homeless guy on the street that asks you for $1, do you ever give him $1? Why not? You don't even have to give him money. That homeless guy on the street, you know what you could do? You could go up there and, hey, how you doing? And talk to him like he's a human being. Yeah, he might be a little off. He might be a little crazy. He's on the street. But daily, they're on the street. Daily, they have people walking by them, acting like they didn't. I didn't see it. I didn't see the guy. I didn't see the guy that has no shoes and dirty feet. Saw a guy on the subway. I'm not going to talk about this. I'm not going to talk about this. But you should do something. You should help people on this planet. That's illegal? Come on, man. It's not that big of a deal, Trump's people. Who's going to deliver our food? Who's going to be the guy with the leaf blower? Who's going to do the construction jobs? These aren't jobs that I want. They're not jobs you want. They're not taking jobs away from anyone. It's not a big deal. Calm down, okay? Stop being afraid of MS-13. It's absurd. Don't listen to Trump. I've said this so many times. I know people that will feed homeless dogs and cats, but then they won't feed a homeless guy, a human. They're nicer to another species than their own. So it just seems like they're probably not very nice, period. I don't know. Grub Hub. I recommend it. If you're my age and you haven't used it, Jinion, you can tip them in the thing, Jinion, and then you could hand them a wad of cash. They'll be loving you. Like the guys at Domino's that fight over coming to your house. Grub Hub. See what else is on in your area. I'm sure you know everything that's there, but it worked. It worked great. I'm serious. It worked great. I don't know. I want to order more food. I'm hungry. I don't know. I'm gonna use it again for sure. Jinion, go get an iPhone, Jinion, right? And just text me. I got it. All right, I'll shut up. She has it. She has an iPad. She has a computer machine. She knows about the Google. She knows about the YouTube. She knows about the Facebook. She's not on any of them, really. YouTube, she does have. She's posted with this name. I'm not going to say who it is, but she does go on the YouTube machine. So, does she log into YouTube? No, she doesn't. It'd be rare that she did that. She'd only be doing that if somebody was on YouTube saying something just outrageous. Here's an example. On one of my other channels, somebody had used a fake account. Jinian saw it and was on there like, I don't think that's Peter. I've known him since I was 14. He would never say anything like that. And then she started calling me and I didn't pick up. But then later in the, early that next day, oh yeah, I see, I would pick up if I saw Jinian calling at 11 o'clock. I just didn't pick up. But if I saw her calling at 11 o'clock, I'd be worried that something was wrong and pick up. Where nothing was really wrong, it was just an internet troll. I deal with it all the time, and Jinian's just extremely protective. That's all.